Hey, what's up, Colts Nation? I'm Josh Hudgens with the Common Colt Podcast. In every video, I always say it's an authentic podcast with real takes and no clickbait. Well, today, our video is titled, Anthony Richardson probably isn't going to be the answer. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to see this title, get angry, and go straight to the comments to say a lot of things without even listening. And to those people, I urge you, just give me 2 to 3 minutes to state my points. First of all, I'm a fan of Anthony Richardson as a person. I think he's a great guy. I think he has all of the athletic talent to do great things in the NFL. But that does not mean I believe he's going to be a great quarterback. Now, this Texans game today was very sloppy. It was more than just Anthony Richardson today. I think Shane Steichen put him in positions to not be his best. I think they threw way too much early, too many down the field passes. But beyond that, the deeper issue is Anthony Richardson is not going to be a franchise quarterback. And the naysayers of this video who say it's going to be too early, who say, I see this all the time on Colt social media. Well, you guys would have given up on Peyton Manning already. Peyton Manning had a terrible rookie year. Well, Peyton's rookie year wasn't great. He threw a lot of interceptions, but he did do a lot of great things. And I've gone back, I'm pretty young, I'm 29. So I've gone back and I've watched a lot of those games from his rookie year. And the one thing I've seen from Peyton Manning's rookie year that I have not seen from Anthony Richardson, who had an opportunity, although he was injured, to sit and watch Gardner Minshew and watch tape. I've seen development from Peyton as the games went on, and I have not seen that from Anthony Richardson. And taking a step further back, when you compare the prospect of Peyton Manning and you compare the prospect of Anthony Richardson, Manning was a generational prospect. He was touted as the next John Elway. He was just a consensus first overall pick in the NFL draft. Richardson came out as a raw prospect. Some people had him charted at not even in the first round. The Colts took him at pick number 4 purely on athleticism alone. Manning was taken because he was the total package of a quarterback. He was accurate. You look at the numbers in college, you could say, okay, this guy's numbers could translate to the NFL. Richardson in college, he tossed a little over 20 touchdowns, like 15 interceptions, and barely had over 50% completion percentage. He wasn't great. He wasn't a great player in college. So we can't even say that about him. I'm saying this again, not to down Anthony Richardson, so I want to take a step back. I just want to say you cannot, that comparison of Peyton Manning to Anthony Richardson early in their careers is not even fair, because Manning was the prospect and he had proven that he could be great at the college level. Richardson hasn't even proven that. And then when you compare their development throughout 10, 12 games, Manning had development. You could see the development there. Richardson, if you look at his completion percentage, I think his best completion percentage this season was 50%. It's actually gone down. He was under 40% today against the Houston Texans. And outside of the accuracy and the completion percentage, there's just a lot of football IQ plays that I would like to see from my franchise quarterback that just are not clicking with him. And he was a top 5 pick. So this guy isn't a second or third round project. For example, fourth quarter, that last minute drive, he chooses to, one, take another hit, fall forward, and get an extra 5 to 6 yards instead of going out of bounds when they had no timeouts. As a franchise quarterback, you cannot do that. You think about in the first half, he nearly throws an interception for a touchdown. It gets incomplete. And then the next play, he throws an interception, putting the Colts in a terrible situation going into halftime. He is just not making high IQ plays, whether it's throwing the ball in decision-making or now running the ball. And honestly, I was going back and watching tape, and there's a Dan Orlovsky clip, I'll link in this video, where he talks about his footwork, where he talks about his pocket presence, and that stuff has either stayed the same or regressed.
That's and really the pocket presence used to be a good thing for him. And now it's like, what's going on?
He is not developing as a player. So to me, when I watch Anthony Richardson play against the Houston Texans, and we could talk about play calling, we could say we wish he would run it more, we could say all these things, but at the end of the day, I'm not seeing the development that I would like to see, and that is a major, major red flag. I think if there's any sort of way the Colts can fix this, they've got to understand we're going to have to run the football with Richardson and Taylor. We know it's going to cause a higher chance of injury, but at the end of the day, he's going to have to acclimate to the NFL speed of the game. He's going to have to throw it no more than 15 times a game. There's going to have to be a lot more swing screen passes, short passes, dump offs, RPOs to downs to Taylor, and we're just going to have to play an offense like that. The Tim Tebow offense, the early Lamar Jackson career offense, and you hope that through that, he can gain confidence. He can adjust the NFL defense. And people talk about him developing and learning the NFL, but the problem is the NFL is also learning him and his strengths and weaknesses. And the proof is in the pudding that he's not an accurate passer, and he tends to make a lot of boneheaded mistakes throughout these games. So to me, the red flags are very high right now. I'm very confident that this is not going to work out, but he's only 10, 12 games into his career. I think you still have to play him. I don't think that we're a Joe Flacco away from the Super Bowl, maybe a Joe Flacco away from the playoffs, but that doesn't move the needle for us. We have to figure out an answer. And to me, figuring out the answer is continuing to play him, limit his passing attempts, get him running the ball more until he hopefully can get adjusted to the speed of the game and move forward. This guy is not a Peyton Manning prospect. I hate the comparison, the early career comparisons. Again, the development's not there. The college background's not there. And just in general, he was not near the prospect. The reason why he was even picked top 5 is because he could run fast and jump high and because he could throw far, not because he picked apart SEC defenses with surgical precision like Peyton Manning. So get that off the table. I'm a Colts fan. I want to see this guy do well. But when I say it's authentic takes and real clickbait, it means I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and lie to everybody and say, oh, I'm happy, I'm optimistic, I think Anthony Richardson's going to do great. Because that's not the truth. And I think I'm shortchanging Colts Nation if I do that. This podcast, I know it's a little bit risky, but it's the truth. And I think we just need to talk about the truth for a second. I'm curious what you guys think. If you want to comment what your thoughts on Richardson are below, I would love to hear it. I still have hope that maybe they can find a way to turn this around, but it's gonna take something big to see it happen. Guys, thanks for watching the Common Colt Podcast, and have a great day.